I think that some of that has to do with the size of the institution. The larger the hospital, the more physicians, the more patients that are under there, and I think the bigger ability to create impacts. And most co-management agreements have some kind of service line incentive or direction and a huge push for quality to try to influence results. And I think the standalone facilities, the smaller ones, they want to go down this path. I think it's very difficult for them. So sometimes pursuing a partnership with another hospital, maybe they share physicians on medical staff. Having an approach like that might make more sense.
Yeah, it's interesting, kind of tying some of these strategies into even changes in payment methodology. There's a really interesting overlap between the types of services that seem really amenable to co-management arrangements and the types that are pretty amenable to a bundled payment approach as well. So if you think of the bundled payment initiatives, you're seeing those around orthopedics, around cardiology and things, and those seem to be, again, the areas where co-management agreements are most common.
All right.
So then looking over at slide 13, this is just we asked our members to, on these options that are arrayed on the slide, which most closely approximates the composition of their own network in terms of the mix of employed and non-employed physicians. And actually a pretty widespread here. 30% are at most are employed, 21% at most are non-employed, and then a pretty even distribution between. A very small number. We did have the employment not permitted by state law option in this, but does this really, as you look across, the organizations you work with, Matt, is this a pretty good approximation of what you see in terms of their employed versus non-employed mix?